Right guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. We're joined today with the lovely Yossi. He's 6 years old and he's a commercial driving horse. He's a Frisian, as you can see, a beautiful animal. And yeah, today we're going to shoe him from scratch. We're going to make the shoes out of the horse, we're going to trim him up, and I'll show you how we do that. I'm going to shoe one side, Tom's going to shoe the other side, and we'll be able to compare. See who's better, Tom, huh?
Mine's going to do better.
Now I'm actually going to teach him how to do it, so I'm going to do one side and then he'll copy me. I find this is a really good technique to teach him how to do it. So I'll sort of lead, set the example, and then Tom will follow and I'll sort of mentor him through it. Yeah, let's crack on then. First off, we're going to start, I'm going to remove the horseshoe and then I'm going to prep his foot to be trimmed, and then I'm going to go in with my nippers and rasp and give it a really good trim up and level it all off. And then once I've done that, I'll be able to take my measurements to make sure the piece of metal I'm cutting will be the correct size to form a horseshoe out of. I'm actually suffering with quite a bad back. Not ideal being a farrier.
Oh, little baby.
And we are both full of cold out here.
Oh yeah.
So. But you know, we're still here, show must go on. I made a commitment to make a video at least every week on YouTube now, and I'm going to stick to that. So first off, I'm going to buff my clinches up. I'm going to gently just start to pull towards the toe. Don't need a lot of strength.
Sorry, you haven't got much, have you?
There you go, Tommy. That's for you, mate. So I'm just going to pick his foot out first. He's got quite a typical Frisian shaped foot. They're always quite like a square shape almost. Just clean up with my wire brush before I go with my knife. Make sure I don't catch any stones. I'm going to start with my frog.
Why do you start with your frog, Sam?
I like to start with my frog. That's a good question, Tom. So I can see the depth of my clefts, and then I can see the true height of my heels. Really starts to sort of like map your foot out, so you can tell how long it is. You can see your medial lateral balance a lot clearer when your frog's back to where it should be. And then I'm going to start taking my excess sole out. Sorry if you hear me grunting and groaning. Like I said, I'm full of cold. Just give these bars a trim. He grows a lot of foot. Really thick soles on my hoof wall. Checking his foot balance now. He's just a bit high on the inside, plenty of toe to come off. So now I'm going to go in with my nippers. Nice overlapping nips. Don't want to jump around. The nippers will kind of do the thing themselves. Oops. Oh lad. Now go with a rasp. Smooth off the nipper run. Again, when I'm rasping, I'm always conscious to be moving around. I don't want to stay in the same spot for too long, because you'll drop the area you're rasping. Make sure my trim's right. Steady, Yossi. Good boy. Yeah, lovely. He only needs like a little pull forward. I'm pretty happy with the length of his toe. Just wants a nice clean up. Put some better shape back into it. Right, let's measure it up and chop some metal. When I'm measuring the right amount of steel, I would measure a hoof. So you measure your hoof first, the length. So I'm going in about 6 1/4. 6 1/4 total heel, and then the widest point, which is about here, which is 5 1/4. I got 6 1/4 long, and I got 5 1/4 wide, which is 11 1/2. But then because I'm fitting my shoe, I'm gonna add more to the metal, because when I fit my toe bend and come round, it'll add more length and width. Because I don't want to fit exactly to the size of his hoof wall there. I'm going to want to come wider and longer. I'm going to want to fit my shoe pretty much to the widest point of his frog. So give him the support he needs. Also with horses, they will, so I won't see this chap for maybe 5-6 weeks, but he's going to grow a hoof. So he needs a shoe that fits peripherally and has enough room for him to grow to it, to keep him comfortable throughout. Because if you fit a shoe exactly to the proportions of his hoof wall, it's not going to fit like in a couple of days, because he'll grow out of it, because hooves are constantly growing throughout the cycle. So yeah, let's cut them out. I'm going to put the section choice I'm going for is 1 by 3/8. Gives him more than enough meat to do his job. Right, do you want to pass me that ruler, Tommy? It's on there.
Sorry.
I got leather into me. You're going to get leather juice on. So yeah, making and fitting shoes like this is really key in developing your skills to becoming a really good farrier. I mean, fitting machine-made shoes is a skill in itself, but once you understand how to make horseshoes for a horse, you really come into your own.
Just checking it's working.
All the best farriers in the world. Go on, give me some tomatoes. All the best farriers in the world have been good shoemakers at one point. Right, cool. Get out of my way. Give me a chance.
Safety first.
Bro, what did you even scratch then?
Can you not see it?
Can I not see it?
It's there.
Let's say, go on. I can't see no line.
It's right there.
That's the sunshine, yeah. So we have managed to cut this at 14 inches. We'll take that. We'll take that. Now I'm just going to mark up my metal. Just some little guidance points to make sure I know where the centre of my shoe is and which is my outside. You got a centre dot, Tommy?
Yeah.
So 14 inches. So that half of 14 is 7, for anyone wondering. So I'm going to mark, because this is a front shoe, I am just going to ever so slightly run up my inside. So I am going to mark it 1/8 off the middle.
1/8?
Yeah. Because when I run my inside up, I'll stretch it. So I'll gain that 1/8 back as I work the metal. Right, cool. So these little marks here are just like reference points. So that's the centre of my shoe, and that's the outside. Again, I'm just going to buff his nails up. Good lad, Jossie. Ooh, lad. Oh, yeah, steady lad. God, I wonder who nailed these on last time. They don't want to come off.
I think it was me, you know.
Right, same again. I'm going to start off with my clefts, pick them out. Give me the brush, sorry. I'll just give it a little clean up.
Please.
Please.
Manners mean nothing, eh, Sonny?
There you go. So I'm going to start with my frog trim. He's got plenty of foot on these back feet. He's got some right foot on these hinds. Good boy. Again, I'm just going to trim out all his excess salt. Good lad, Jossie. Good lad. This side is a good centimetre longer than the inside, so it's going to slam you down heavily on the outside. We're going to bear that in mind when I'm running my nippers around his foot. Cool. And I'll go over my rasp, get nice level. Perfect. We're on the money there. Now once I've finished the trim, I'm going to round up my hoof wall. Just put a nice shape into it. Nice even thickness all around. I am just going to pull it forward and clean up this hoof wall first, so I'll do it after. So now I'm going to start forging my front shoe. The first heat I'm going to bump my toe. Remember I was saying I'm going to add that ½ inch, so I'm going to put the ½ inch I've added on into the centre of the shoe. Give me a wire brush, Tommy. So I'm going to quench out the metal where I don't want the meat to go, that ½ inch, I want to send it into the toe. So by quenching it out and leaving a sort of quarter in the toe warm, it allows the metal just to go straight there. So I'll give it a cute couple hits, 3 or 4 hits, and then when the metal starts to buckle, I'll level it and I'll swap the side. And I'm always going to be swapping sides as I bump to make sure I'm getting an even bump in the middle of the toe. So by the end of this process, I want to be at 13.5, not 14 anymore. Right, cool. I'm just going to measure it now. Make sure I am at the right length. 13.5, just under to be fair. But I can work a bit of the toe back out when I forge it. And when you're making a fullered horseshoe, because I'm going to run my fuller through the centre of the section, I am going to stretch it a little bit. Right now I'm just running the round end of my hammer on my foot surface on the inside of the toe, because when I bend this side it's going to swell into the bick on here. Right, now I'll do my toe bend now. That's the first heat done. So now the toe bend, I'm going to shape the toe bend to the same shape as Yossi's toe. And you sort of do that in your head. You just got to remember the trim and the shape of the foot, and you'll use that as a blueprint in your head to forge a shoe to it. So what I'm going to do is just polish up his hoof wall forward. I like to make my hoof wall, your correa band up here is where new hoof grows from, and I want this line of the correa band to be the same on the ground surface. That's what I'm looking for when I'm filing, is to match them up. It doesn't really need a lot of doing. So I'm going to again measure from my toe to my heel, which I'm getting 6 inches, and then I'm getting just under 5 inches. I'm going to say 5 inches. It's like a notch. So I'm going to add 2 inches from my toe, 13 inches, and I'm going to do ½ inch from my bump again. So I'm going to cut 13.5 inches.
How big was it?
13.5 inches.
13.5. That's how it's done.
Cool. I'm going to put the toe bend on. Now your toe bend is, I would say, your most important heat of your shoe, because everything else follows on from it. And if your toe's not right, then your shoe's not going to be right. And you're constantly fighting against yourself through the rest of the process. So you want to spend a bit of time on this. A nice overlapping hammer blows with the round end of my hammer. And then I'm just going to drop my hand round from where I drop my hand from where I'm going to put my toenail. I'm just going to flatten the back of the toe. Show it nice and level. Right, now I'm going to mark my fullering. Now I'm going to scratch in where I'm going to start my fullering. And it's important that I'm just towards the outside of the centre of section. And then I'm going to mark my inside. So there are my lines where I'm going to start my fluorine now. And I'm just going to run my edges off on the bick now. And that's going to be my toe bend to start with. So that's the second heat. Now I'm going to put it in and start forging the outside of my shoe. Right, so now I've got the metal for my back foot, which is meant to be 13.5 inches, but Tom's decided to add an extra 1/8 on.
That's not my fault.
Struggles to use a ruler.
It's not my fault. Grinder will funny, you see.
I don't mind having a little bit extra anyway. I want 6 3/4. Yeah, it's going to be in the centre. But because Tom's added a little bit more on, I'm going to just only go a little notch off again because Tom's decided to make it a little bit more of a challenge. Cool, so I'm going to mark my outside. And we'll get this ready for the fire. Heat number 3, I'm going to forge my outside, put my heel on. So I'm going to start to put my check on. And I'm just going to hem where I'm going to put my fuller in now. So when I put this fuller through this metal, it's going to swell it. So what I like to do is just thin it up a little bit before I put my fuller through it. And now I'm going to run my fuller up my section, just very slowly, walk it up the section. Now I'm going to give it a little bit more of a whack. Cool, and once I'm happy with that, I'll put it back in the fire. I mean, if I was feeling a bit stronger, I would definitely just send that to full depth. I think making the shoes a little bit slower though on the video is better for everyone to watch, so you can understand it more. So that's where we're at with heat 3. I've put my heel on my shoe, got my nice frog check there, and then I've marked my fuller in down the centre section. So this heat's good enough for me to run my fuller through. Do you want to just grab the tongs? You can hold it for me, Tom. And I'm going to just really run my fuller in. That's it, perfect.
Usually, guys, nobody holds.
I mean, it's quite common for farriers to fire for each other, especially in like lots of competitions.
Me and Sam are in competition
Tom
against each other.
Thinks he's in a competition with me, which makes no sense at all.
You said it this morning.
You're not gonna, well,
May the
you're not
best
gonna
you
win,
win.
mate. I don't want to put that sort of pressure on you.
That is true. Yeah.
Like say press again now, I'm gonna bump my toe. I'm gonna just take a little bit of a longer quench because my toe bend behind is a lot tighter. I want the metal to be even more in the centre than the front. Again, it's all about keeping control of my section while I'm bumping. You don't want to be hitting it while it's buckled because the metal won't distort into the correct place. Right, so I'm going to keep working this till I've put a good ½ inch. I should pretty much be there now. What we're measuring in at now. Perfect, so again we're just a little bit under 13. But it is a little bit buckled this. Once I straighten it, it will be at the right measurement. And again I'm going to run the inside of my shoe up with my round end. And now on this 4th heat, I'm going to turn my branch I like to start off with overlapping hand blows for my heel, and then I come in and just drop my hand and work the shoe around the bick. Now he has quite a square shaped foot, so I really don't need to drop my hand too much. Get my stamp and prick off on me, buddy.
Oh, you want that?
Overlapping hand blows, it's really important that your fluorine always overlaps. Now I'm going to put my
Wish mine
nails
were
in
gonna
my
look
shoe.
like that.
So I'm going to mark my toenail, not right at the end, I'll leave a little bit of a gap so I can swap it with some nail pullers if it's not where I want it to be. Need to lube her up.
Yeah, lube it up.
Just hold that for me, bro. Tom being inappropriate again.
No.
Now with the Pritchell, I only want to give it a little few gentle taps
Gentle.
to just send it through. Well, it needs a little bit of a whack. I'm also bearing in mind the pitch I want that my nail to go when I hit my Pritchell through. To put that Pritchell through a bit more. Nowhere near there. Now I'm going to do my toe bend on my hind now. It's going to be a different shape is my toe bend on my hind foot because it's not as wide in the toe. It's a lot pointier my toe bend because I'm fitting a toe clip behind as well. I'm going to fit right to his toe. Right, cool. Let me just mark my toenails. Hold that for my Tommy T.
Need time. Ah, yeah.
Got hot?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Oh dear.
Sam's just trying to burn my hands.
I'll get my hind shoe back in the fire. Just going to go back over this outside of my front. My fullerine's not where it should be, it's not deep enough. I'm going to blame Tom's tools.
Yeah.
Because I'm using someone else's fuller. There we go. Keep the anvil clean because I'm re-go through my toenails. Toenail, heel nail, and my quad nail. Just gently go through my Pritchell. What I'll do now is just clean up the back. To be honest, it's alright. I've got a nail. I've got that 5 nail now. Let me see where I'm at now. Perfect. Nail fit is one of the most important things of forging a horseshoe. If your nails do not fit correctly, your shoe's not practical. Might look really pretty, but if it doesn't nail on, it's actually completely useless. Isn't it, Tom?
Yeah. Just learn from them mistakes.
That's half my shoe done. I'm going to go forge the inside of it now. Now I'm going to put my heel on. And again I'm going to hem it. Again I'm just going to mark my fluorine. Walking it up the section. I'll just give it a nice little level. Run my edges on. It's the first time I've made a shoe on this anvil though. It's actually alright, not too bad. See, this is my travel anvil. When we make shoes, usually I have like quite a big heavy shop one. It's a lot bigger. Just a little bit more fidgetier on this smaller anvil, but still more than capable of getting it done. Right, cool, that's smart. Right, now for my inside. I'm just going to run this up a little bit. Just narrow the section before I put my check on. Just so it's a little bit safer when it's fit to the horse. It's not as wide on the heel, sticking out. And it's also cool because it just shows you the difference between your outside and your inside. Right, now we're going to give it a mark here with my fullering.
Shall hold it for you?
I can do this side pretty well.
Alright. Let me out. First time I've heard that.
It's just because of my back. Yeah, it's really not ideal when you've got a bad back as a farrier, because it is the most important tool you have. There we go, just going to run my fullering down. Cool, that's marked. I'm going to put it back in the fire. Right, now I'm going to turn my outside. That's all I really need there. Run my fullering through. Put it back in, so give it one more run with my fullerer, and then I'll mark my nail holes on my hind shoe. You can run your fuller through on a straight. I personally prefer to fuller on a bend. I find it's more time efficient, and it's just habit really. I mean, there's no wrong way to it. I find that when we've trained a lot of apprentices, it's easier for them to do it on a straight, to practice getting a straight line, so they can use the line of the section, you know, the straight line there, the straight line there, they can keep straight with the fullering. But once you get the hang of it, I think fullering a bend's a lot better. Right, so I'm just going to finish up on the outside. Now I'm just going to neaten my section up, some overlapping hammer blows, and just flatten it before I finish running my fuller and do my nails. Perfect. Now we're doing my toenail, again a little bit, not right at the end, just a little gap. Heel nail, widest point of my shoe, which is around here.
Nothing else.
And then my quarter nail, right in the middle of the two. Lovely. And then my nails, you can see how they've just popped up right in the centre section. That's where we want the nail holes to be, as that's where my white line will be on the horse's foot, and that's where you want to nail your nails to, so they're nice and strong. And they're nice and safe as well, because if they're too coarse, too deep, you can catch the horse with the nail, cause a nail bind. So now I'm just going to put my shape on the other side. Shoemaking is all about like doing the same hits each side to make it symmetrical. So whatever I've done to my outside, I'll make sure to do to my inside. Right. Cool. Would you pass me that fuller, Tom?
Yep.
Just give it a little run round. Before I put my nail holes in. Just give me that stamp. There is just something extremely satisfying about forging your own horseshoe. Look from the widest point, which is going to be about there. And then in this, my quarter nail in the middle. Just give them a fold up it a bit more. When I'm at the right depth to the pritchel, you should be able to see these little dots there. That's when I know I've put my stamp to the right depth and that I can come in with my pritchel. Just run my sole pressure out. Make sure it's nice and comfy for Yossi. We don't want this inner edge to be rubbing on his sole. It can cause discomfort, what we call sole pressure. Cool, so now I've got the shape there. I'm ready to clip my shoe now, put my toe clip on. Now the inside of the hind. I'm just going to hem it a little bit, run it up, safe it. Check on. Up, Tommy. Mark my fuller in. Perfect. Get that in the fire. So now I'm going to clip my shoe. Hold this for me. Right. Once I've got my sauce, I will then pull my clip up with a heel and hammer. I've been doing it a long time. I'm just going to finish it off a little bit. Make sure it's wide enough. And just work it back in to my section. Give it a little clean up with a wire brush. So now we've got the finished product.
Bro, you need to check your nails.
Wow, I need to put it back in the fire actually and just finish leveling it. Because after I've clipped it, I have just buckled it a little bit. So I'm just going to get it back in the fire. Give it a nice little flatten, finish my shape, straighten my nails, and we'll burn it on. I'm going to run my fuller on the inside of my hind shoe now. So I'm going to leave about a fuller's length each side, so I can come down here just a little bit more. You want to leave your heels solid so you don't, I won't run my fuller right to the end because you want a solid heel, and I'll put a road pin in there because he does a lot of road work.
Ow.
Right, now I'm going to take this to the foot.
Hey.
And then I'm going to burn it on.
Hey.
Right, cool. We are on the money there. Finish off the inside. Overlapping hammer blows. Thing is, I'm the judge, so
Yeah, well
that's biased, isn't it?
That's not fair, is it?
Now the viewers, you can tell us what you think. See if Tom impresses you. See if I'm doing my job correctly teaching him. I believe in you, Tom.
Right. I'm glad you did.
Cool, now I'm just going to clip my hind. Right, Tommy, I'm just going to come and burn this on. I'm just burning on now to make sure the shoe fits correctly where I want it. I want to make sure that it's nice and flat between the hoof on my shoe. Just to ease a little bit of soul pressure out. Just got to be gentle, because after you burn on to the foot, it makes it incredibly soft. And my knives are really sharp, so you really don't want to start going absolutely Rambo with your knife on it. So now my shoe fits, I'm happy with my shape, got a nice burn on. I'm just going to run a rasp round now and box off these sharp edges and just clean up my shoe, give it a little bit more shine. Right, cool. I'm going to clip up my hind. I like to start my clip with my round end, pull the meat I want off, and then I go, once I'm happy with that, I'll swap to my flat side. Want quite a meaty clip for Yossi because he's a driving horse. So I'm sweetening my clip up here. Right, Tommy, can I just come there and try my hind on?
Yeah.
Right, there we go. This is the fit I want now with my hind shoe. Cool, so that's the fit. If you want to have a look, you can see it. This is my shoe. I'm just going to have to clean up my nail holes. That's the shape I've got. You can see it's really got straight quarters. Quite a narrow foot. But you can see my burn. This is the outside. Just got a little bit of an edge there coming out. You can feel it, see his heel. Fits nicely to the centre of the section on both sides. I have fit quite snug on the inside so he doesn't brush and there's no interference with the other limb. Rasp up my heel checks. I don't really need to rasp a lot of this shoe. Just going to clean it up with the rasp a little bit on my heels and box it. Sweeten up my clip. Smooth off all my edges. And then a last little brush all round. Very gently just tap it. Go back through my nails, my stamp. Just make sure my nails are nice and clear. Again, I'm just running my round end round for sole pressure. So that's my side done now. My front fit and my hind fit. I'm just going to quench them out, put some rub pins on and I can nail them on. I'm going to drill my rub pins into the heels. If I put one in each heel, This just drills a hole where I can put my tungsten tip pin. So then once I've drilled my holes in, these are my tungsten steel tips. And we'll just put it in the hole like that with an old hammer. Just gently knock it in. These really do provide the horse with so much more grip, which is really important for these horses when they're working hard on the roads, going up and down hills. Traditionally, you do it with that. But for the sake of time, I'm just going to box up with my grinder. Right, so they're the shoes. That's my front and my back. I'm pretty happy with them. They went pretty well. I'm a bit rusty on shoemaking jobs these days. I don't get the time I used to when I was younger to make as many shoes. But it is such a beautiful art making horse shoes. You happy? Trimmed up, ready to go?
Well, it needs putting forward.
Yeah, so you're not done?
No.
So do you wanna cut your front?
Yeah.
Let me nail this on top first. I might just need you to pass me. Yeah, you're gonna have to pass it stuff. Just make sure there's no in its foot. Steady lad, steady Ossie, come on. Steady lad. Nail my shoe into position. Good lad. Just want to get these up a little bit higher. That's his hind foot on. I'm going to nail his front. Oh, wire brush. Good lad, yes. That's it. Good boy. Well, his front foot's a lot easier than his back foot. Perfect. So I want to get my toenails nice and high. Use as much of the nail as I can. And get the last one. Perfect. Good lad, yes. Good boy. Cool. Do you want to get your metal ready now, Tom? Still is a really good boy for a young stallion. I mean, they can be a whole lot more challenging than this. Again, I'm just undercutting a nice little pocket under my nails. And now bend them back on themselves. And then we just simply smooth them off. You don't want to take too much meat out of your clench. You don't want to over rasp them. Cool, that's his front foot done. See that? Right, cool, that's that. Just need to put a bit of SW Farrie's hoof skin on. And last but not least, some SW Farrie's hoof skin to finish off. Good lad, yes. So the SW Farrier hoof skin is actually now available. You can grab yours from swfarriers.com. There'll be a link in the description. It's a really good product. I've been working on it for quite a few months to make sure the mixture is correct on what I want it to do. So lad. And it gives a really nice finish, nice shine. It's got some really good oils in there. So yeah, the SW Farriers hoof skin will be available now on my website. It's a really good hoof balm. I spent months designing it to make sure it's got everything that's important that the hoof wall needs. It's really good for the sole and the frog. Has copper in it, which is antifungal as well, and antibacterial. And you like it, don't you, mate? He likes it. Look at his feet, he's got a beautiful finish on him. So there we've got the finished shoe and fit. Pretty happy with that.
Right, so I marked it, and now I'm just bumping the toe. All that extra inch in it. Every inch counts, as you know.
So the 3/4 full shoe that we're making now is quite a hard wearing shoe. It is really good for these driving horses. You can also use them for, like a sports horse could use them in a thinner section because you've got the solid heels, really good for putting stud holes in. The fullering you see allows for like easy nail placement. You can remove your nails quite easily, but at the same time you've got a really nice thick toe and heels. It's a pretty decent shoe. It is one of the harder shoes to forge. To forge this shoe correctly, it's not as easy as it looks. Like, it is quite a tricky shoe. That's why it's quite the test for Tom today. I would say a really nice 3/4 full shoe that fits correctly is one of the harder shoes to make out of the simpler range of shoes without going into therapeutic shoes. Making and fitting therapeutic shoes like bar shoes, egg bars, heart bars, it's a completely different ball game. It's a different task in itself. So with your normal shoes, you've got like your concave shoes, plain stamp shoes, and your 3/4 full shoes. And they're your main, they're the only three really that I would say are your straightforward everyday shoes. Are you doing alright, Tom?
Yeah.
But Tom will make some really, really nice shoes from these practice runs. He'll go to his competition and the pressure I think just gets to him sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah. I always do so well till I get there. Oh yeah. We're on it there.
Are you on it, Tom?
Oh, we've beat you all day. Come on, Matt, come in here. Oh, look how beautiful this is. Never seen shoes that. They went well, very well. But no, not very well. They went alright.
Yeah,
I definitely didn't beat him, but
Yeah.
I thought about it.
Not quite.
I went for
Not
it.
quite. Maybe one day.
I went for
we'll
the
get there, Tom.
goal, and I keep...
Maybe one day I'll beat me.
Right, I will.
Well, you know,
They
you had a good
just-
go at it.
I
You had
did.
a good go.
I got a good try.
You did well.
No,
I
it's
think
just,
you did all right.
Yeah,
You know what you need to work on
I do.
and the areas you can improve in.
I do, yeah.
I think your forging's all right.
Yeah. It says
You
it
just,
all
you
right.
just need to be a little bit more confident with your hammer
Yeah.
and think about what you're doing before you do it.
The hard part, 'cause I don't really want to make my finger off, to be honest. Right, guys. So now we nail them on. Last nail, guys. Let's
Home run.
see how it goes. There we go. Sorted.
Good lad, Jossie. Good lad.
Beautiful. See.
Right. Oh, good boy, good boy, good boy. Good lad, Jossie. Yeah, wicked.
Best on the market.
Right guys, there you go. That's how you shoe a horse from scratch. You'll have to let us know in the comments down below who won. Was it me or was it Tom?
It's a tough one.
You let us know. But yeah,
Tough one.
Yossi was a really good boy today. Stood like a champ, didn't you, mate? And you know, Tom did really well. Like, this was a good test for Tom, see where he's at. I was quite impressed with him. You know what you need to work on though, don't you, Tom?
Yeah.
You can do your own work, aren't you, Tom?
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Remember, like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.
Peace.